Where do I find my stream options? The URL. No, that's not what I want. Mm, Erg. I don't want a webcam stream. I wanna see where I'm streaming to. YouTube. YouTube. Where am I uploading my video to? Meow 08. Oh my gosh, you're not helping. YouTube, you're not helping. I should have probably done this before I started streaming. Watch. No. Premium, no. Oh my gosh, I can't go to my own. Launch YouTube. Click. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. YouTube. Description's not blank. Oh, description is blank. Right click on video. Copy link address. Paste. Copy video URL. Paste video URL. Oh, it automatically connects you with other people. Okay, well whatever, I'm gonna have to keep on working. But I was confused for a legit second. Not gonna lie though, I'm still a little bit confused. At least it's one more platform, so who cares? Probably just make them a little bit more thick on the sides. So looking at the side view, it just, No, do you know what? What am I thinking? Oh, the top right one isn't live, is it? Can't tell. Oh well, I feel like complete scrub now. Let's open up your ref again. Just so I could actually see my references. So recent. Houses. I want to see Ryder. Not Ryder. Ryder. I wonder if they just have an API for both the chat. No, they don't have an API for the chat because it doesn't connect to the YouTube chat. So how are they making the chat work? Probably have their own chat set up. Then gotta do some art. Because they gotta work on some art. I don't know what these buttons do. Oh, that's what that button does. Woo-doo-doop. For future sculpts, I should keep in mind that I shouldn't have their legs locked while sculpting them. I should try to aim for something more bowed. Is there any service? Is there any rules to this website? I haven't actually gotten any even when I was... Oh, they don't have Blender, they mainly have the... Terminal. Best program out there. I use a terminal to do art every day. There's absolutely no one. I have not been streaming for longer than 20 minutes. Okay, all streams have gone silent. It's okay.
So it just reduces the amount of steps to get to the end result you want. Also, maybe I won't be able to cover all of these, and it won't be like a tutorial for all of these, so just look them up afterwards online. They're really helpful. I can recommend all of them. Also, there are some paid add-ons in here, but in my opinion, like, Blender is already free. Time was saved, so why not throw some money at the developers anyway? Even if it's community developers who are making the add-ons, because it just encourages more people to get started and like get something helpful into the software. And also, I prepared a ton of slides after this one, but I just, like yesterday, I just deleted all of them. Just screw this is my talk, I can do whatever I want, damn it. So what I'm doing instead is just I'm going to switch over to Blender and just stay there. So why not? Why not? I'm just showing practical examples. So let's just do it this way. Also, let's see how much I can cram into 30 minutes because I will have the Italian community meeting breathing down my neck and like.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Nice. Let's see how much I can get done. So the first thing is like if you have like this now I'm going to do the first part in 2.8. So let's say you want to get going in sculpting, and right now like there have been some changes, of course, like the layer system is kind of gone, so it's really helpful to just kind of keep the outliner on the side, but you also kind of need the properties editor over here, so already your interface is getting kind of crowded, and basically the only thing you want to use is this thing. So why not get as much space available for the 3D view? But you still need these, so you would just constantly switch back and forth between these. So instead I like try to maximize the 3D viewport with my own interface as much as possible. Like there's still the outliner, but I also like hid the restriction columns, which gives you these like visibility settings, but you don't really need them. If you hide something, it's grayed out anyway, so why not? Just keep it this way. But you might ask, okay, didn't I say you need the properties editor? Like, where's that now? So, and what I did is I used the Pie Menu Editor add-on, which I can totally recommend. Just go in here and like pin stuff to the sidebar. So I made my own little tabs, and now I have all my important properties editor settings over here. So I don't need an extra editor, and I have it in my 3D viewport at all times. So I can just go in here and just add modifiers, whatever I want, and just gets added to the stack, and I have everything available over here. Actually, let me just switch the file because it might be best to just. Oh, can you hear me?
Blah 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 blah.
It might be best to just go into the file I have of the example model. So this is the model of the character that I did. And if I switch to the other interface,
That was weird.
I have everything over here. I have all my stuff.
Thunder was just like not taking it.
And everything. And I even like if I go into sculpt mode, for example, I guess it's neat how everything is kind of shelved up here. But sometimes you want to see the symmetry settings currently. Like there's still some little things that I would like to see improved, but like what if you have symmetry enabled? You don't know. You're like, okay, go in here, like check, okay, everything's in order, my resolution, okay, fine. So I just started pinning everything down here. And I also
you know what, I can't get controls of this because it's too small, so I'm just gonna use a snake.
So I can like quickly go into
like
different kinds of wireframe on solid,
fingers to get fatter.
See-through mode, so really exploiting the customizability that's for now in the 3D viewport. And the way I did it is basically just with this. If I go into add-ons and search for Pie, nope. Pie Menu Editor. Oh, it's gone. I have this pretty simple to understand interface where I can just add more like different types of menus, like tabs in the sidebar, or just in any editor. There's like a huge amount of customizability in here, and you can really change the interface however you like, just for your own needs. And it's also one of the first, like one of the only add-ons that was like actively being supported for 2.8 for the longest time. So this kind of saved me for in quite some occasions. But yeah, check it out online. Like this is really useful. Okay, we went over the part that has like the least to do with sculpting itself. So let's get back into a bit of sculpting. So one thing that I also really
I have Dynatub on, right? No, I don't.
Sculpt something, and you constantly go into these settings.
It's turning itself off.
Adjust like the spacing, or have like a different texture, or you're constantly going into the settings and changing stuff. But it's kind of, you're doing the same thing.
Well, the finger's cracked.
Just wasting time in the settings.
Maybe I can fix it later when I actually retopo it.
Make your own brushes.
Do you know what? I should just retopo it.
the kind of standard arsenal of brushes is great because they're all very significantly different. They all have their own purpose. But sometimes it's great to have some variations, and if you make a new brush based on another one, it keeps the same shortcut. So what you can do is just kind of cycle between them using the same shortcut. And with this new grouping over here, like you can just really easily go into like, okay, you have the standard crease, but maybe I want to like do little cracks, and then I have a variation that I can immediately switch to and just save all the time I would have spent in the settings. Oh, damn it. Windows Inc. and everything is back. I shouldn't have done the firmware update. Like now I need an exorcist for my laptop. But also like Snakehook, for example, which has this really interesting behavior of like rake settings and pinch settings. And sometimes I just want something that resembles like more of a grab brush, but something that's a bit more elastic and smooth. But I don't want these other settings. So now I have like a simple variation. I can rename it, and I can easily just switch between them. And the same thing, of course, with like standard anchor and rake brushes. And just have a little collection, and you can just quickly switch between them. And afterwards, like, just export them into a different file and then reuse them. Just don't make anything again if you use it anyway all the time. Just re-import it, append it into your file, and get going. Just stay in the flow. The next part would be base meshes. I already started talking about it. And there are quite some different ways of making your own base meshes, and all of them are valid, but I at least want to go over some of my favorites. I guess the most default way to use base meshes, like something like, except for like a simple sphere or something like that, would be the skin modifier. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to make one with an add-on. So you have this thing, you have a skin modifier, you can subdivide it, and you can just create these base meshes, and you can get some really simple shapes going, but also something like there's a bit of a lack of control. Everything is very smooth, but also it tends to break at times. It's just you can't do anything very complex because it's just breaking, because it tries to get the most flawless topology going. And so something I really like to do instead is, like, really like to do this for like simple objects, like you're doing hair, you're doing like trees or something like very simple that's also branching, can be really useful. But what I did, for example, for this character is just I used the original concept art, which is this one. So, and I just tried to match this as close as possible with these different objects. So I created like spheres,
wrong button.
And cubes, and just blocked out the basic shapes. And I can just enable the origins. Now we can see with those, and they all have their own symmetry axis. They have their own orientation points, so you can just grab these, and if you want to make some big changes, you can just do whatever. Like, as long as they're still separate, you have a lot more.
Nope. Not the direction I meant to go.
And you can even just reuse this, like export it, import it into a new file, and just start completely resculpting.
No, it's a little bit too much. It's even giving my back some pains.
Big bulky guy,
Just enough. A little bit too much.
Something that's not even human.
Just enough.
And
so yeah.
So this is really helpful. Also, by the way, you can just start posing it early on, which you can't really do as easily with like when you're doing like an already merged mesh. But more about that later. So the last step you basically have to do is just boolean everything together, get it to one mesh, and you're done. And
I'm just a little bit pushy. Leave me alone. I didn't mean to be pushy.
To get some quick details in there, so you can create a curve. Whoop. Kind of have this one on the side, and you can define a bevel object. And now this thing is kind of controlling the silhouette, like the shape of the curve. And you can make like all kinds of stuff with curve. You can like also keep the setting somewhere, like keep like a simple rope setup or something like that, and just reuse it. And you don't even really have to sculpt on top of that. You can also just use it as quick accessories or something in addition to your main body sculpt. But that's really helpful. But of course there are also limitations with this thing, like it only goes from A to B or looping back into it itself. So there's different methods of doing something for every type of base mesh. But the last thing I want to show, it's actually included in like add-ons like
if anyone comes by, I'm probably just gonna stop watching.
Sculpt Toolkit.
No one gets upset.
Is using metaballs and armatures in a very interesting way. So you can like load an armature. Over here there's like a couple of presets, and you have this guy which is like, okay, you have your armature, you can go into edit mode, make like changes, whatever you want. You can insert more bones and just overlap them, and then once you're done, once you think this is good, you can convert it into a mesh. And what it does is just it fills the entire armature with metaballs, and then you immediately have like a new thing that you can just start sculpting on. And it's a very quick and sketchy way of getting like base mesh going. It kind of is like a best of two worlds of like the skin modifier way and the using like the segmented objects. But it also of course has its downsides. Like everything for like I'm using these for different models usually, but this thing is really interesting. I haven't gone into this as much currently. Like there's sometimes I'm noticing like once you convert it into mesh, there's like little errors in the symmetry that happen, like little things that don't really look right. But this is quite useful actually. But I went for this route, and one thing, like the most problematic thing that I kept encountering whenever I have like segmented meshes and I want to sculpt on them individually and afterwards I want to boolean them together, is just getting weird results. You boolean everything together and suddenly like it's like cuts into your mesh instead of booleening it, or it just it just makes a hole or something, and there's weird stuff going on and you don't really know what's causing it. So I want to talk about like the most insidious ones. So if we go into wireframe, so I have an active boolean over here, and what it like, it's not booleening it, and what it does instead, it's just merging it. It's kind of cutting into the model, but there's the inside faces, like the intersecting faces are still there. And I'm using this one as an example because you don't notice this. You boolean everything together, you apply everything, you have your complete sculpt, everything together, and then you start sculpting and you notice like you go into like dynamic topology and then you start sculpting and this happens and you try to smooth it and what is going on, and then you go into wireframe or edit mode or anything and you start to notice, oh damn it, how did this happen? And there are like a lot of different reasons why these things sort of happen. Like one of them is usually like, okay, you have your object in like negative scale, or there's like inverted normals, or you have like a hole in there somewhere, like some kind of non-manifold geometry. And these kind of tend to make the Boolean operations tend to fail. Sometimes it's kind of unpredictable. But also the great thing about like the wireframe mode currently in 2.8, like when you go into wireframe, it gives you an outline, but the outline also shows you like non-manifold geometry, holes and vertices with 3 faces and inverted normals. So this is actually a pretty good way of like kind of debugging your model before applying, or if you already see that something's going wrong and you can just immediately see what's going on, what's wrong. But maybe none of that is working. Maybe it's just about like you have too dense of a mesh, which I guess is the reason, I'm not sure. So what just helps sometimes is just moving the object just a bit. Like you have the 2 objects still there, the modifier is still active, and you can just move it slightly and it just recalculates and then suddenly it's working. It's kind of like a trial and error thing. But let's say you have it already applied, and this mess is now what you have to live with. So how do you fix it? So the most easiest way usually to get rid of this is just to not just manually select it or anything, just go in there and have it like, let's actually for some reason go into the menu because I noticed the shortcut is gone. So let's select non-manifold, and then you have all the problematic areas already selected. Like this thing is where this kind of gets merged, so you can just select it. You can, oh, damn it. Different keyboard. I don't have a numpad, so let's grow the selection. You can grow it like 1 or 2 times based on how much geometry is actually there. Then just delete the intersecting part, and you have this, and you can just go select the intersecting parts, delete, and select the edge loops, and then just bridge the thing, and it's fixed. So it's still kind of like there's a couple of steps, but this is like the best that you can do at that point. There's also the make non-manifold, I guess.
No, don't dare do that.
Huh, really? I learned something today. So it's still kind of like there's a couple of steps, but this is like the best that you can do at that point. There's also the make non-manifold, I guess. Huh, really? I learned something today. Yeah, okay, so let's go in here. You have this selected, so select God damn it. Select non-manifold, you make it a seam. Of course it's in here. Then you have, I guess you have to unwrap it first, or does it work immediately? I mean, it should work immediately, so just select this, invert these delete faces, and it should be gone. Nope, wait. Maybe it's because the geometry is a bit messed up, so maybe try it at home. Maybe it's just my sphere over here that's doing the problems, but yeah, I mean, at least an interesting thought. I haven't thought about that one. So yeah, there's some way to avoid
Everyone learns together.
edit mode. And by the way, like edit mode, like it's showing you like the information a bit better because there's actually actual shading on the wires now, so you can just zoom out and it still gives you shading, which is amazing. And also, just even if the geometry is like way overboard, it's just okay, whatever. It's just shaded now. Now there's wires. Great.
Oh, he's like such supporter himself.
No, it never does. Like I wish that would be the case. Like remesh should get rid of the intersecting faces automatically. What it just does, it just freaks out. And just makes holes in the intersecting part. It's really weird. Maybe at some point that feature gets implemented. But let's actually go to the next part. Like I also want to talk about like some symmetry tricks. So, for example, I was talking about like how I made this in like segmented parts, and the great thing about this is like it has its own rotation axis, its own origin point, so you can just kind of start posing it and just pose it into like something like the pose that you want to use later on, and then like boolean everything together and then sculpt it, or just keep it separate and just continue sculpting on it, because everything is already separate. You can just continue sculpting, and then at some point you boolean everything together to get like the transitions worked out, which is basically what I did for the body. The only thing I kept separate is like the arms, because they're kind of very close to the rest of the body, and I don't want to mask this stuff. So this kind of makes it easier for me. but
I'm trying to figure out how the side of his head works.
okay. This currently has like mirror modifiers on them, but that doesn't work really when you want to pose it. So the best, and like let's say you get rid of the mirror modifier and you want to just mirror it over.
Am I still connected to the other thing?
It's
Oh, I am.
like have it based on like rotate and like do stuff around the god damn it around the 3D cursor, so you can just kind of scale it in the X direction -1 and kind of get it on the other side. So just Control MX, but it doesn't do it right for the rotation as well. So there's a bit of a trick that has to be employed there. So you can just get rid of the first off of the not this thing again. Get rid of the like the modifiers. What am I doing? Yeah, exactly. Damn it. Well, okay. And then I need to get these shortcuts back. I have it on my Linux machine, but not here. Where is it? Trying up, like turning it into convert to. God damn it! Convert to mesh just gets rid of all the modifiers, or just applies them. But since they're hidden, they're now gone. So I'm just going to make like a quick a empty over here, and then I can just select all of these limbs that I want to have mirrored over. Oh shit, I forgot the shoulders, whatever. So I can just
Pinch time. Oh, okay. That is way too strong, the fudge.
Keep transform, and then just mirror over the empty. Bam, done.
That was insane. It's like the whole model just collapsed in a few seconds.
If you want, you can also just Alt-D, duplicate all the limbs, and then you keep, like, you can sculpt one side, and it's still mirroring it over to the other side, just to save time and steps. It's really useful. Just be careful not to sculpt on the inverted sides, because like, it has negative scaling, and it's going to invert all the brushes that you do. So now we can just unparent all of this stuff, clear transformation. Bam, you have it mirrored. But what if you want to sculpt on this now? It's kind of difficult because it has negative scaling all over the place. So you can just select everything, Alt-A, apply scale. Oops. All the fingers are using the same geometry. So let's go in here and where is it? Make single relations, make single user object data. Selected objects. Nice.
I thought I was able to catch that real quickly.
So now you can just hit Control A. See, what? What am I doing wrong? Cannot apply mesh, sphere, board. Oh, I forgot the toes. Aha, same thing again. Apply. Actually, like, let me just quickly show you, like, just to not do it all, go through these menus every time. Like, you go in relations, make single user, object data, and just add it to quick favorites menu, and now I have this thing. So just click this thing, bam, selected objects, done. Just keep it in this little tray.
Getting a stream started for the first time is by no means a one-click process.
Control A.
Why is there a delay between my stream and conversation chat? What's the best size and file type for profile picture? What do you do if I accidentally share something classic?
Shift N, bam, done. So now you have this thing, and you can just pose it into anything you want. But there's one little symmetry thing that a lot of people tend to forget me as well.
Oh, we could
I
make
don't
classes.
use it as much as I
Nice.
should be, and I want to at least show it. And that's, do you know that radial symmetry and tiling exists? Like, what is that? So let's subdivide this actually. God damn it! I need my stuff back.
I'm going to be working so slowly just because I keep on multitasking, which I should not be doing.
Now we have a pretty
It's okay.
high resolution for this object, and I'm just going to go into edit mode. And let's say I want to create something like the headband for the character that she has.
Recording has started. Yay!
So
I do that earlier.
In here and kind of repeating the pattern or doing some stuff with like modifiers and curves. What you can also just do, as long as the center point is aligned, you can just enable radial symmetry. And as long as you don't use it with dynamic topology, which can like get really slow, you can just start sculpting patterns. Like just to not repeat any steps, you can just experiment with this, kind of sculpt intricate patterns, whatever you want. But the interesting thing is, let's halve this and actually enable X mirror. And you might think, okay, I'm going to like do this, and then it's going to mirror everything across along the object's X mirror axes. But instead, it's going to mirror every individual step. So this is actually a pretty good thing, just to get some like interesting patterns going. And just, you can experiment with this, kind of do whatever you want. And this is basically how I just made basically the headband in just like one stroke, just to quickly have something. But this can also be used for other cases. For example, ooh, god damn it! I have this tube, and I should have saved it. Convert to mesh. So I have this thing. And let's say I want to sculpt something like a braid or something similar. So I just go in here and I can like mirror it across the x-axis, like kill the radial symmetry, and then get like something going and like do it step by step. But there's also,
oh my gosh, the 2D look is like burning me out. Because this is not meant to ever be 3D. Now that I work on it more and more, the more I'm realizing this.
Going to tile it. What is going on? Okay, let's ignore that part. So I'm going to tile it. And what it does, it just repeats the steps along like the Z axis. And this, halve this and actually enable X mirror. And you might think, okay, I'm going to like do this, and then it's going to mirror everything across along the object's X mirror axis. So this is actually a pretty good thing, just to get some like interesting patterns going. And just, you can experiment with this, kind of do whatever you want. And this is basically how I just made basically the headband in just like one stroke, just to quickly have something. But this can also be used for other cases. For example, let's have
oh, I'm using the crease bus. I wonder it's working the opposite way I wanted it to. Because the crease bus is something special.
Convert to mesh. So I have this thing. And let's say I want to sculpt something like a braid or something similar. So I just go in here and I can like mirror it across the x-axis, like kill the radial symmetry, and then get like something going and like do it step by step. But there's also the tiling, which is interesting. So I can tile it across the z-axis.
I just realized what the problem is the streaming, like recording on Shadowplay. It's gonna record all this stuff that I'm not trying to stream.
What is going on?
And that might actually be harmful.
That part.
And some of the stuff isn't mine.
And what it does, it just
hopefully it's not a problem in the future.
Steps along like the z-axis, and this is the like one way how you can like skip some steps, just make like some pattern, whatever you want. For example, in this case, it's a braid, but you can also just let's get rid of the.
His head is huge, and they keep on like not making it bigger.
And let's do something like a rope or something like that. So I just need to align it correctly. But basically, you can have like, as long as like the stroke matches with what, yeah. So you can just create something very simple, very quick, and then just use whatever, like a unicorn horn or something like that. I wish I would have used that. Like, I actually made a unicorn at some point, and it just made the individual streaks, all of them. But just, this is like, you do it in like one stroke and then you're done. So, let's still have time. So, one last thing is masks. I mean, everyone knows how to use them, everyone knows what they do. you mask a portion of a model, like with lasso select, with lasso mask, box mask, whatever, or just these settings again. Okay. So that's actually why it's good to have like this thing on the side, just to know what your settings are. So you can just mask this, and like it's going to limit what you can manipulate.
DK got Blender mad at me.
By the way, you can also now hide the mask, so you can just start sculpting on this thing without even seeing the mask. Little tip, I really like this one. But there's more ways how you can use masking for your workflow. And this really comes into practice.
I have an idea, it just won't be the greatest, and I know it's not a good idea to do it, but
Paste this over.
I'm running out of options. I kind of messed up. I'm just going to ignore the head for right now and work for the rest of the body.
Simple thing that
Or I could just do it now.
kind of employ is mask extract.
You know what, yeah, I'll just do it
Let's say
now.
I get rid of the eyebrows and I like go into sculpt mode, and I'm just using the speed sculpt add-on for this. Oh, actually, let me just use this one. There's lots of add-ons, lots of different ways to do it. So I can use the mask brush, kind of mask something out that I want to use. Just have these eyebrows over here. I don't know. Let's make them really thick. And then there's the extract mask, and what it does, I click it, and it's creating a new geometry, which I can then slide up and down to define the thickness, and then click, slide to smooth it out, and bam, I have another object. It's just something very simple, but it really helps. Like, and it's also very simple to do yourself. It's basically how you do it is you have your mask, and you just go in and you just hide masked, and when you then go into edit mode, it's still hidden, so you can just unhide it, duplicate it, make a new object out of it, apply like modifier, solidify, whatever, just to get the thickness and like smooth it out. But it's a very simple technique just to...
Oh my gosh, this song always gives me a headache. Rada, wada, rada.
So you could like sculpt hair or something, and then like get something like sketching something out, and then afterwards you can mask out the individual strands and extract them, just to get like individual hair strands going. So I could just go in here, like mask this one out, extract it, then I have a separate object. And it's really quick to
I want to buy ZBrush now.
And that's actually...
There's a few tools I want in ZBrush right now.
There's also like much more stuff like in these add-ons, like try to experiment, see what you can do. There's like improved remesh modifiers. You can like you can mask parts of it out, and then like assign a lattice to it immediately, and then just do like big changes or pose it, or there's lots of stuff to do. Like what if you have everything already merged? You didn't go...
Oh, it's just me and her.
Approach. You have your entire sculpt done in a T-pose, and now you want to pose it. So there's just lots of these little things where you can skip a lot of steps. Like everything that you masked, you can assign it to like
hey, what's up?
And have
I forgot I was on Discord.
And
I figured I'd come join you so you weren't so alone.
Skip all the technical stuff. Just have all
yeah, that'd be nice.
In this case, I accidentally crashed the file, so it's something to keep in mind as well. Like,
People were on my stream earlier today, but now like it's completely dead. I'm like, aw.
Things might crash on you. But
so what are you up to right now?
Let's get back to the slides for a moment.
Trying to help a kid out in the welcome channel.
Oh.
And then I'm gonna get my Sims on.
They
added new updates, and frankly, I need to play them. They added a terrain tool back into the game, like in previous games.
everything. Like
okay.
So I'm gonna see if see what the functionality with that is, and see if I can create. You know how some houses, if they're built on a hill, they could from the street it looks like a 2-story house, but really it's a 3-story house, but it's just like built on an incline.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if I can try and
make
build
one of those.
like that.
Okay, that'd be awesome. You should show pictures on the art, on the art Discord when you're able to do it.
Against their will. Like if you leave the door open, give them a TV, like a fancy couch, like something very comfortable. They're not going to leave, or they're going to leave eventually if they're going to get hungry. But if there's a reason why people have the opinion like when you give a person a deadline, they're becoming more productive. Like they know they need to spend their time wisely.
What did you say?
And it's the same thing.
Your mic's breaking up a little bit. It might be because of me.
Like you're forcing.
I could try restarting because my mic was breaking up last night too. I can try restarting Discord and see if that helps.
Skip
okay.
Okay, I'll be right back.
And there's like, what's the best way of limiting yourself than just adding a time limit? So, forgetting all the slides. So, this is basically it. So, I still have a couple of minutes, so I'm just going to say some extra stuff. Like my original plan, by the way, for this year was to make a live sculpting session. But with Blender 2.8, I realized, no, that's not going to work. No, I can't get something going in an hour. Maybe next year. But, like, I also didn't touch on too much on the UI. Like, that's something I didn't want to talk about too much. I mean, I want to talk about a very specific thing. So, let's do that instead. But by the way, there's also like.
Oh my gosh, Pretzel restarted on me.
Actually, like a community to like some other people to encourage you to do this stuff.
Welcome back.
Regularly, and
how's it now?
have people around you that do the same.
That's still the same, but it's not that bad.
I can really recommend.
Okay.
One of them, of course, that I already.
I have a green light on my voice connection, so. But you're kind of robot-y too.
Yeah, I think it might be what I'm doing.
It's a very practice-oriented challenge, and there are prizes involved, but it's not really about who does the best job, it's about endurance. And
me closing some windows in my browsers might help.
My poor Chrome browser, it has like 25 tabs open. I'm gonna see if I can close a few of these.
Mine only has like 5, but every single one of them have a video.
I have a few that I constantly keep open, like Facebook and Netflix and the weather.
Oh, okay.
But then I've got so much open.
Why do you keep Netflix open though?
Just because I randomly go into it all the time, and like I'll pause an episode halfway through, and it's just way easier just to go back to the tab and just click play.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But I've got like 2 YouTube tabs open that don't need to be open. Pinterest is open. Got Redbubble open. Walmart, IKEA, Amazon, JCPenney.
Sounds like someone was trying to do some heavy shopping.
Like heavy window shopping.
Oh, okay.
Well, we were talking about, I don't know if you oh, you probably didn't. It was in the NSFW tag. It was really funny. Like we got on the topic of pillows in NSFW. But not in an NSFW way, just simply
Pillows.
And like how many pillows people had on their bed. And then Des was we were trying to figure out, have you ever seen the pillows that kind of look like a back?
Like a back.
So it's like it has like a bolster almost, where it's like got a back and then it has like arms that come out, kind of like a recliner, and you can put it on your bed so you can sit up.
No.
You've never seen those?
Nope, I've never seen those. What are they called though?
They have different.
They have different names.
The one that I see the most is a reading.
Yeah, like the left side of this dude's face. Like, look. So he's got no nose and
Should have probably made this dude a belly button. Oh, he doesn't have a belly button. Never mind. No belly button for him.
I can't see what you're talking about.
shot off left eye.
Oh.
Oh, that's what that is. I'm gonna stop with this for now. Oh, there's Pew Theater. flower is this? Oh, it's morning glory.
My God, Jesse, learn how to spell persuaded. Jesus.
Hi!
Hi, Nats.
What's up?
Not much. You?
Just playing rim job.
Okay.
I love how we have all these like nicknames for games.
Can't just not have a nickname for a game.
Except StarCraft. Don't really have a nickname for StarCraft.
The walrus.
And
Yeah,
now we
walrus.
changed that. We changed it from Stellaris to Stellaris.
I changed it from
Good job.
Stellaris to Stewalrus. My headset's gonna die.
No, that's not good.
Yeah.
Make it stay alive. Just kidding.
I'm trying. Inserting life support now. Okay.
Mm. Low polyflower. These subdivisions doesn't look too bad. How many vertices would that be if I applied it? Apply! Oh, it's not that much. It's 8,712 vertices for one flower. A little bit too much though. It's just one, it's 2,208. About the stem, it is 1,455.
Babe, did you talk to your work about my truck?
The dude that does it wasn't in.
Oh. Well, we need to figure it out soon because every day my truck sits in the tow yard. It's costing.
Yeah.
What happened to your truck?
I got into an accident on Tuesday and totaled my truck.
Oh. And you don't have a place to keep it besides the tow place?
Well, it's actually kind of funny because there was a guy. I'll take a picture of it to show you, like right outside my window. He totaled his truck and he just kind of has it right there, and he's been salvaging the parts by himself.
Oh. Cat Nation.
Come on.
Oh, I just now got that message if anyone wants to play Stellaris tonight.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Since I have my Thanksgiving break, maybe I should play a full game of Star Walrus. Maybe.
You should play with us tonight. Here. There is the picture. So last night, I was like, what if I just park my truck right next to him? And so we can be the totaled trucks right next to each other? And I can have him salvage my truck for me too.
I don't think he wants to salvage another truck after salvaging his truck.
I know. It was just funny. I'll show you my truck too.
Did
There
you
was
just
a
take that picture
3-car
just now?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's going through the screen. That's why it's kind of fuzzy. Where is it? Here it is.
Oh yeah, let me see.
There was a 3-car accident on the freeway, and I tried to swerve out of the way of it because I didn't see it in with a lot of warning, and I ended up hitting another guy in the process.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be on you because you decided to swerve out?
Yeah, it's on me. It just and I'm okay with it because nobody was hurt, and because I did swerve out of the way, there could have been a lot more damage, or I could have actually hurt someone, but because of how I hit that guy, they're totally fine, and he doesn't actually have a whole lot of damage on his Denali.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I'm just happy that nobody was seriously. I was probably the most injured out of everybody, but the guy tried lying and tried saying that I just rear-ended him when that's not the case. So if I'm going to be at fault for something, I just wanted it to be for the right reasons.
I mean, if you did hit him, like, why lie that you rear-ended him? Like,
I have no idea.
he should have just said, "Yeah, I was in the right lane, and all of a sudden, I just got hit."
Yeah.
Like, why say you got rear-ended? Do you really know you got rear-ended? Like, were you paying attention to your rear view? But look at the damage. That's not a rear-ending.
Mm-mm.
If you did hit him, you coming into his lane and smashing your right side up.
Yeah. It was just weird because it was almost like he was out to get me, even though there was another accident on the freeway. Like I just came out of nowhere and just rear-ended him,
Yeah, because you fucked up his nice Denali.
Yeah.
Some people are like that.
It's so disheartening that some people, even though there was another 3-car accident, instead of just being glad that everybody's okay and it wasn't worse than it was, he's worried about his car.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's probably got full coverage, and insurance is not even gonna mark it as full.
Yeah. But it's okay. I mean, I've been wanting a new vehicle for quite a while. It'll just happen sooner than I anticipated.
Get a Subaru Forester.
I don't like Foresters.
Get an
I think they
Outback.
look. Oh, what's the one that I don't mind? I can't remember. I know it's not the Forester. It might be the Subaru. The Outback,
Forester's kind of like a.
It's like a hatchback. And
Well,
I
it's
hate
like
hatchbacks.
an SUV. It's like an SUV car.
I love
That's
hearing
the
people
Outback.
talk about cars because I absolutely just don't care what type of car I end up getting in the future. If I do decide to get a car.
You don't have a car?
No, I don't. I get around by
How's
bus.
Huh. Why? Well, okay. I mean, it's not a big deal, but if having a car means you can get to your destination in a quarter of the time, why would you choose to take the bus?
Just reasons right now. Plus, ironically, everyone else, like, my siblings are younger than me, have a car.
Yeah, but you shouldn't rely on them.
I don't rely on them often.
Okay. My brother did that. Like, I got my license straight at 16. Could not wait to get my license. And my brother waited until he was probably 18 or 19 to get his license. And we were like, why aren't you getting your license? He's like, my friends can just drive me around. Like, you shouldn't hold them responsible for taking you places.
I couldn't. I had to get a vehicle.
Yeah.
I have a license
Because
though.
there was no way I was gonna take a bus to work. Sorry, Meow.
I mean, it's gonna be okay to do it for a little while, but me having a car means getting to work takes 20 to 30 minutes, whereas taking the bus, it takes an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm having to take a whole hour out of my day just for transport. And then if I want to go places that are far, I can't just do that. Like if I want to go up into the mountains, can't do that. If I want to go traveling over to the other side of Salt Lake City, like it would just take forever. It would be an all-day event instead of like a 3 or 4 hour event, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I like the convenience of having a car. And I just don't like being low to the ground because this is now my 4th accident and I like being able to see everything. And I just feel safer taller up off the ground. So I do want another like truck or SUV. I think I'm leaning more towards SUV though. That way I can actually take people, but still have the functionality of
Outback.
taking the
Subaru Outback.
Subarus are really expensive, babe.
But it's an Outback.
Yeah, but if I can't afford it.
But it's an Outback.
Oh my god.
But it's an Outback. Just kidding.
Thanks, Mal. I don't mind the Outback, but
I don't know.
ooh, people lift Outbacks. What the hell? It looks so weird.
Yeah, because they off-road it.
I know, I understand the
or
concept,
they can rally Outbacks too.
I was gonna say it looks more like a rallying car than anything. But like, just because the Outback is kind of like short and long, it's not really tall. Having a big set of tires on it kind of makes it look disproportionate.
I wonder if there's someone else streaming right now.
Hmm?
I wonder if there's someone else streaming 3D right now.
You wonder if there's somebody else what?
Streaming 3D art right now?
Oh, I bet they are.
It's not too
I
often.
bet you $100.
Yeah, one other person is. It usually isn't that way for Picardo. Usually only one person streaming art at a time. maybe for Twitch it makes sense. Son of a phone. Phone's far away from me, but yeah, it's like alarming. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I am Z back.
Welcome back.
Let me see if there's anyone streaming 3D on Picardo right now. I mean, not Picardo, on Twitch. Yes. Pixelogic.
Come on, man!
I'm actually kind of happy that I'm not the only one that's streaming 3D stuff on Twitch. Just join the two together. Control join. Selected. Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was talking to Nads. I think that the Outback still sits too low for me.
Going by other people's streams because my stream is so lonely.
What's the point of getting a two-wheel drive Jeep Cherokee?
There isn't.
People are
Have I ever told you the story of how I was supposed to get my first car?
Mm-mm.
So my parents wanted to get me a car originally, but then my uncle had a good idea that like maybe you should try to get a car that's really cheap and then maybe we could fix it together as like a group project between me and my uncle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what he did. We got a Jeep Grand Cherokee that's 1986.
Mm-hmm.
And like the engine was completely messed up. It was like it wasn't unsavable because you could replace it, but like the gaskets were completely like slightly torn apart. The person never oiled it, so like inside of it was completely gunked out, and like there was a wheel missing from it, right?
Mm-hmm.
No!
So me and my uncle actually spent the time to fix every single little thing about the engine. We finally fixed the engine and everything. Like me and my uncle actually got the engine working for as far as we know. But the carburetor wasn't working, and we had to buy a completely new carburetor to like try to puzzle it together. And he does not know how to do the carburetor. And the carburetor is not that easy to do. Like, it's really, really difficult. And usually if you don't have the blueprints, you can't even fix it anyway. We found a carburetor, like, to replace it, but we don't know how to fix it. Then we tried hiring a mechanic to do it. We gave it to the mechanic and stuff. And guess what the mechanic did? He told us he can't fix it, and he's pretty sure there's no one who's willing to try to fix it because they know we already spent a lot of work on it. And if they break anything else, it'd probably be on them. So no one else wants to touch it. And my uncle moved away because he got a job offer somewhere else. So now it's just me trying to figure out how to fix it. And I don't even know where to start. But I have looked back on it a couple of times, and I have like connected the hose and everything, but I still don't know how to fix the carburetor. So that's the story of how my car is right now.
That sucks. Yeah, I think I just made my decision. I think I'm gonna get a Jeep Cherokee. My mind is made. There's some pretty good 2014 Cherokee Latitudes going for like 16,000, which isn't that.
That sounds really decent. How big are Jeep Cherokees? At least that one. Oh, 2014?
Yeah, I would say it's about the size of like a Ford Explorer.
Oh, okay. Look at the your phone's on the bed. Just
the video that Steven sent us is pretty.
I just got home from the thespian festival and I'm absolutely about to go some kid at some snotty snuck up looking ass private school. I'm so mad. Astro sounds mad. Wait, when is everyone planning to get on Solaris? Or Solaris?
Looks like we're doing 8 p.m. Central. So I think about 2 hours?
No, okay. When is the new update gonna launch for Stellaris?
When they drop the deal.
When they drop the DLC.
Yeah.
Do they usually launch it together?
The Mega Core. Yeah. It's a compatibility patch for the DLC.
Oh, okay. I thought that updater was already released. I'm surprised it wasn't. It's a Quasi. Oh, yeah, Quasi's still here. Ow.
What's up?
Ow. Saying Quasi actually hurts my tongue.
Quasi?
It's cause my teeth end up biting my tongue when I say Quasi.
Quasi.
Yo, Nads, the new expansion came out for CK2.
CK2?
It's pretty good.
No, there's just
Hi,
so
Ryder.
much deal for that fucking game.
Yeah. And I own it all.
What you talking about?
Kill the cougar!
Some crazy
There you
game
go.
that some crazy person is talking about.
I'll be right back.
They did do something. At least they made it like these are the important DLC now when like you look, but
Go! No, don't go that way, go that way!
Mm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 29. 29 Discord servers. You should really
how
clean
many
one
we
up.
have.
Yeah.
I think I have like 8, and I feel like that's a lot.
I was gonna rescue that Mega Sloth, but it died.
That's how I'm gonna
Yes, dude.
delete a Discord server from my group, my thing. I'm doing alright.
What? She died of the flu?
That's pretty funny.
Who dies of the flu?
Yeah, I'm deleting this Discord Blender server. I don't need it. Vivinox.
Crazy, you gonna play the Walrus with them?
Maybe. Maybe I will. Are you starting a new game?
Yeah.
I might be getting a job
Maybe I'll
soon.
join. Yo, Nads, you know what the cool thing about this new DLC is? They finally added in portraits for every single remaining culture that didn't have one. So there's no more ugly portraits. So like the Arabic cultures finally actually have unique portraits now instead of the ugly ones they had before.
I want to tell this Astro kid he ain't gonna do shit. Like, he's just all keyboard tough guy.
When are you starting your Stellaris game?
Couple hours.
I want to double check. Do I even have Stellaris installed? I should. I should. That...
Uh, 8 Central Time. So 8 Central. When's 8 Central, babe?
Google exists.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock Mountain Time. So crazy that'll be 6 o'clock your time.
Or in other words, an hour and 30 minutes.
So 6 o'clock my time is when you're.
Yeah.
Okay.
That should be 2 hours away, right?
An hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's 4:30.
An hour and 30 minutes.
Oh my gosh,
Right.
all of it.
Are you playing?
Playing what?
Stellaris.
Not tonight. I got work.
Oh, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
Wow, he is typing you a story, bro.
Astro?
Yes. He's been typing for. There it is. Politics, yo. Get used to it. Blood types, huh?
I like bulking my questions together. So how's your day been, Drav?
Yeah.
Did it just start or something?
No, I was playing Guild Wars 2 for a bit and catching up with some friends.
Oh.
I have work tonight at 10 o'clock, and it's just I worked 6 days in a row this week, and
Well, I
I've been
see.
wanting to do stuff, but I just when I get to it, it's like I don't really want to do it.
Having work for 6 days might also be making that hard on you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back.
Welcome
Welcome
back.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Nats.
Hmm.
Want to play some StarCraft?
Maybe.
You want to try the new hero that came out? Or Call Commander?
Who? What? What? There's a new one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Guess who it is? Before he loaded up.
Valerian?
Nope. Oh, Valerian would